Hello everyone, my name is Hamlet Reynoso van de Host. I'm a PhD in Construction Project Management and Computer Science, and today I'm going to provide you a small introduction about drones for construction project management based on the research that I carry out in the UK with the University of Wolverhampton. So if you want more information or follow the research, you can go on LinkedIn and add it. Also, you can go to ResearchGate. I leave you my details if you need any further clarification. So for the presentation today, I'm just going to provide you a brief introduction about what is drones, what actually drones are mitigating in the construction industry, what are the applications in general terms, the application of drones for construction, then how the drone industry is being developed, the challenges that you may face, and finally some conclusions. So first of all, we need to understand what actually we are intended to solve with the drone. Especially for survey or when you're trying to quantitate or measure specific dimensions or areas, there are some methods or tools that are useful to measure manually the sites. We have the Holotape and the theodolites, laser scanners, and any other approach. And what happens is, when you use this type of approach, you are relying on human error and also in humans' capability to reach specific areas. So when we integrate another type of tools or robots that can actually do the works of humans, as we see in the presentation, we can identify three major machineries or robots that in construction they are doing something significantly different, that they are reducing risk, improving productivity, and also they provide another type of approaches for the future. For example, carry out different materials. So we have drones or unmanned aerial system or unmanned aerial vehicle, that's why it has the V, and they have a plenty of variety of different type of drones. We can have quadcopter drones, we can have drones for confined space, we can have drones for high autonomous operation for long-lasting flights, and other types. But if in your country is not available that type of technology, or it can be a little bit more risky to have that type of technology in hands, there are other dimensions that you can also use, but they might not be as effective as the drone according to the project that you're going to be managing. So we have four-leg walking robots as the Spot, that's the name of the robot, that you can put some of the LiDAR scanners, and then they can make a walk in specific area. They have some programming and they can do it, but they might not be as affordable as drones, and they have the advantage that they can have access for internal areas that the drone may face different problems doing that. And then finally, we have remote operate vehicle, which are normally submarine drones or remote control robots, that they can actually make photogrammetry under the water or taking pictures, and with that you can make some reconstruction about the foundations of a bridge that you might want to inspect, or you can have, for example, information about the sea life under a specific area that you want to build a project. So we have plenty of opportunity with robots that they can do in construction, but for this lecture we're going to be focusing in aerial robots. What are their capabilities? What are specifically contributions that they have for construction industry? So they have different similarities and differences. The similarities are the data collection, Sensors, they can be attached many sensors as long as the weight allows them to carry out the mission. And what they have in differences is the maneuverability and the battery life. So most of the commercial drones for professional purpose, they have plenty of sensors with high quality assurance of accuracy that can actually solve many problems that fixed with drone may more suitable for long extended areas of surveying. And then quadcopter drones, they mostly going to be used to make surveys for short areas of construction sites and make more focus in inspection and accuracy. What things that we actually want to measure, if we want to measure features in concrete slab, or do we want to actually measure what is the topography of the surface of a specific area where we want to build a building. So there are plenty of sensors that can actually help to inspect bridges upside and downside, in both sides. Then we can make reconstruction with that. What is going to change based on the design and the number of propellers is the weight. Sometimes we're going to need more propellers or more rotors in order to lift specific sensors. Or in some cases, we may take, for example, helicopter or small helicopter option, because they may have more specifically strained in order to carry out specific sensors. But it's going to depend what actually are you willing to carry out, or the missions. So there are 4 different aspects to consider in technicalities regarding to the drone. We have the communication phase, in which we're going to use the drone for images and video production. We're normally going to see video productions if we want to present, for example, a progress to an investor or to a client where we're going to be building a project. So we're going to use different type of sensors that the drone can have incorporated. That can be normal cameras, RGB cameras, thermal cameras, if we want to see a liquid or a specific thermal changes in areas. That with that information we can also provide support that gas, for example, pipeline with gas they are leaking or something else. So with that we can do specifically that task. Then we have 360 camera if we want, for example, provide immersive experience to clients. So we take a drone, they may fly in the construction site, can be a land, can be the building, can be the bridge, can be the dam, can be any of the project that we are carrying out, and then we provide a virtual reality experience that the person should not need to go to the site in order to have a full immersive experience about the project, the progress, or any task that we are carrying out. And then we have the multispectral camera, in which if we are willing to identify what are the different type of vegetation that we're going to face in a specific construction site, in order to get environmental permissions, then we can identify or create a table assessment about what is the type of vegetation, the plants, according to the a spectrum of images that it's reflecting to the sensor. So as we see below, we can identify some of the applications that actually they're going to be very useful at the end. The picture and images for report, 360 pictures and videos, and VR experiences. Then we have a technical approach in which we're going to use the drone to gather more precise data that is not normally willing to be shown to investors or people that are not familiarized with the project that we are willing to do. So those data might be noise, pollution, radiation, decibels, or any other type of sensors that we can actually use to measure dangerous conditions that the land may have. So we're going to use this type of sensors in order to make surveys, georeference orthomosaics, to supply, for example, entitlement or deeds about land measurements, generate contour lines, and other types of outcomes that actually they're going to be helpful for our project feasibility and technical studies. After we gather all this data, some of the outcomes they're going to need further processing stages. So we may use, for example, a building information modeling software. We may use artificial intelligence for point cloud segregation. It means like after we make a 3D model with the drone, then we can use an algorithm that can actually identify if this is a wall, this is a road, or this is a yard, and based on those pixels or color uniformity, then can actually identify which is the area. So it's more hyper automation process for construction projects. So we may use a GI software in order to identify the surface, contour lines, or see if it's aligned with the actual land entitlement or deeds that we may face to make that comparison. And we may use photogrammetry software to make the reconstruction. So finally, if we want to use as a cargo purpose, which is currently under development, we may just make ancillary parts about what type of recognition of landing pads, what are the radio frequency distance that we're going to use, what are the signals and other type of sensors that they're going to be very useful if we are willing to cargo with drones. Can be also how we can arrange bricks to see how the drone can actually build walls and do different type of approaches. But it's going to depend what actually we are looking for. For commercial purpose, these are the plenty of variety of drones that you can find on internet. Depends what actually are you willing to do, then you're going to choose one of the drone for a specific purpose. So in summary, the drone actually is a tool that allows us to gather data, like it's a machine or robot that flies and has the purpose to carry out sensors or carry out things. So with the sensor of camera or the RGB camera, we can capture videos and images. It has also GPS incorporated, so we can gather location data. We can measure time and other type of variables if they have the sensor incorporated. So in general, the applications of drones based on this sensor, which is the most commercial one, they have plenty of industries that they have used for. We have photography and video, entertainment, transportation, agriculture, construction, security, traffic monitoring, insurance, and advertising. So if you're willing, for example, to build a land or build in a land or build a project near to the beach, and it's a multi-story building, then you need to identify in which height you're going to have a specific views, that in that way you can make arrangement the design and get the most value exchange for the view and for the project that you are building. So you may take images, for example, of the beach in specific angles, or just to take images or 360 images in every 3 meters of height. Depends how you're going to develop the story, but every 3 meters you may take pictures or make just a video that can record the heights, and then with a Bing model you can actually positionate your building with that environment and have an immersive experience for your customer that they can actually live or experience how it's going to feel if they're going to purchase that project. So that's one of the biggest contributions that the drone has for real estate specifically, or photography. We have also the swarm technology, in which is currently under development. What happens if we have, for example, 100 drones flying off construction site or flying in a specific area? What the different tasks that we're going to be looking at with the drone? If one is going to be health and safety, another might be with inspections, another might be with progress report. So that type of arrangement, it's still under development based on security issues, programming, capability of the drone, and also the designs of them. One of the examples that actually they've been built that I know that most of you has seen, it's about shows and entertainment. So plenty of drones have been developed in Olympic Games, but they were designed for that purpose. So imagine that the same drones, they can also be designed to illuminate a highway in night constructions, or to use it for different other purposes. So in this specifically project, we were intended to use a Beetle drone to carry out medical samples. So in order that if you're willing to use drone for transportation, for example, blueprints or something else, then it can be useful. I'll leave you the link, but it's just a deployment of the drone. Another type of application for agriculture industry that may be useful, but just depends what type of AI you have. It's one regarding to a spray in a specific area. First, we take the photogrammetry and take the images. We evaluate with multispectral camera or analysis according to the software, and then we identify where are the water stress, or where are the different color degradation, that based on those differential color, the plants may need different type of resources. So instead to spraying just water, we can spray pesticides or any other type of chemical that can help the production. With that type of approach, in the future agriculture purpose, they can use it to assure that the production of certain vegetables or certain food can be accomplished on time, and then based on that promise of progress reports, then there can be more reliability in terms of production. If you have cows or animals or something that actually move, then with AI technology, we can use a drone with tags, and then we record where they are and they can count. So immediately the software can give you the number, how many cows or how many animals you have in a specific area, and make that. When the technology of autonomous operation started to be developed, then we can have drones, for example, in a specific site that every 50 minutes or every 30 minutes can make a round or can fly over the site and tell us where are the animals and what are the numbers, like the location, produce a map in the cloud space. For construction, could be similar. Where are the employees working at, if they are compliant with the health and safety, and then they can provide us a map where are they located. For COVID-19, they use it for make good conscious measures about social distance, but the applications they are more focused in public safety in any case. However, you can still use the drone for any purpose that can also be used for public purpose. For example, drones with speakers, you can use it in your construction site in order to tell or explain the workers what to do without you to have to be in a specific site. But that approach, they need process before getting into the stage, because some employees, they may feel uncomfortable having a machine talking to them, or do not seeing a person talking to them. Maybe, for example, a telephone call, but the experience is a little bit different because it's something flying. So that type of approach we need to take in consideration according to the degree of knowledge that we have with our employees. But then we finished with the first part, and the next part is going to be application of minerals for construction. I hope that you like this first introduction. If you have any questions, just let me know. Thank you.